Hi, everybody. This is David Skarica, editor of Pessimism.com. With me today is Bruce Bagnello. I always get Bruce's name wrong. I think
Try it again. Try it again.
Bruce Bragn. You
Bragagnolo.
Bragagnolo.
Coca-Cola,
Yeah.
Pepsi Cola, Bragagnolo.
Braganola. Okay, I'll remember that.
Yeah.
And and he can brag about some good drilling as of late. So he's the CEO of Regency Silver. This is my largest holding, by the way, at the moment. So Regency, firstly, let's just get into the financial part of it. It did a financing back in August and then another one in December. You raised about $8 million, and you've been doing a lot of drilling in that time frame. So if you want to talk a little bit about that, just so you know, with the finances, one financing came free trading around Christmas, and the other one was free trading immediately, and it was about 65 million shares. And I was just telling you off camera, which I'll show in a chart in a second here. You've traded about 65 million shares just on the venture since December.
Yeah, it was very fortunate to find a new financial partner in Centurion One back in August. And they've raised $8 million for the company over the course of the last 6 months, including February. Yeah, it's worked out really well. And we've chewed through 100 million shares in total volume over the last 2 months. So it looks like our chart, I think, looks good. I've been hearing it looks good. I'm not a chartist myself, but from what I hear, it looks good. And we've cleaned up the market, it looks like, for now. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, well, yeah, because it does seem the last week or two that I'll get a daily chart now because that's the monthly chart, which you can see that huge volume, like 50 million shares on the venture in January alone. And you issued, I think, about 65 million, if I'm correct, in those two financings.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
That's about right. So yeah, so and you can see the December, January thing, and yeah, you can see the chart has moved up higher here. And you've had good news. Now the official drill results haven't been released yet, but this is a press release you just had just over, I think, about a week and a half ago. Let me see the date on this thing again. So it's moving up. Yeah, it was February 4th, so actually almost 2 weeks ago. Um, and it was just another hole that you hit, So sorry, my just doing something here. So I just want to go down at the bottom of the press release. Here's some of the core, and if you want to talk a little bit about this.
Sure. I mean, we've drilled a series of holes in a bit of a rectangle or kind of like an octagon uh, around the historic Dios Padres silver mine. Now, the old historic silver mine, they were mining 750 gram material out of
Okay.
that. And we had a good discussion. We had a really nice dinner in Mexico City with some old friends of mine in the mining business about a month ago. And we discussed, the overall economics of mining, particularly in Mexico, but everywhere. These high prices that we see now, the highest we've ever seen, have done wonders for the margins of the miners.
Of course, yeah.
It used to be you needed, 250 gram silver to be an economic mine. Well, now at $100 silver, which we were recently at, now you need 45 grams. So it's a major difference for the economics of mining in silver. And gold, you probably need you need a decent margin to explore for gold. Well, now we've got that decent margin because I think the average price, if I had to guess, I would say the average cost of production is somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000 for most miners these days. So at 5,000, you're making darn good money. So the
Well,
economics are really going to kick in here. And I don't think the investing public has really caught on to that fact yet.
what I
So
think, I was kind of awaiting this pullback. So what I think, and the reason being is the metals were really outperforming the miners on this breakout. We met at this conference in Nassau at the end of October, and afterwards, and at that from that time until now, I think at that time gold was getting kind of close to 4,000 or in the mid 3,000s. Um, from that time till now, like gold and silver went up so fast, the miners couldn't keep pace, and probably with some of the markets saying, okay, that $110 silver is not going to hold short term. But what I think is happening now is they held up a lot better on this correction than the metals. And then whenever we base here in gold, say around in the 4,000s or 5,000, or silver in the 60s, 70s, when that next move higher happens, I really think, as you're talking about, because of these margins, you're going to see the miners are beginning to outperform. That's my own personal opinion. And I think part of the reason will be this. We got a lot of miners that are going to report now from, we're doing this on the 16th of February to the end of the month. And I think you're going to see outstanding, numbers. And it's not going to matter if gold or silver is 60, 70, 80, 90. Obviously, the higher it is, the more you make. But I think people are going to see at these prices, which has never been seen before, because silver's never been above 50 until the last few months. People are going to see the cash flows, the profits, et cetera. And then that's going to start the M&A, because like they're going to, like companies like yours, they're going to see you have 11 million ounces of silver plus what you hit on these awesome holes, hopefully. They're going to be looking at taking over and acquiring more ounces in the ground, because as you said, at these higher prices, these ounces are more economic.
Yeah, it's actually a very good time to be an explorer. We have the type of project that is going to be very interesting for the mid tiers and the majors as they look to fill their pipeline. I mean, that core you just saw is typical of the high grade breccia that we hit in previous holes. So that looks very similar uh, to our holes 01, 21, 14. So those are very good looking holes. And we hit this very wide zone of it looks like more silver dominant mineralization. We don't have the assays back yet, so I do want to preface that. But we're very optimistic about that silver zone as well as the gold zone. So we should have assays out soon. And we're very optimistic about the results. This project just keeps looking better and better.
So then what's after this round of results are out, and hopefully that, helps, gives the stock another push, because we should note that too, that summer financing you did was 10 cents with a half warrant at 20, and the stock right now is about 25, 26, and was as high as 40. And if you were to get higher, both that financings warrant and the following financings warrant will be in the money. So you'll be able to raise even more money once those warrants are exercised. So what would be the plan then going forward after this round of drilling?
Well, the plan here is just to keep drilling. When you have big widths like this, you know you've got a big system feeding it. So we just want to keep poking holes in uh, to uh, to define the system, see what the extent of it is, both along strike and at depth. I mean, we're open in all directions. We should at some point be hitting a high grade copper zone. We were advised a few years back that looking at the copper zone that we hit and looking at the mineralization, we should be getting into a copper porphyry here at some point. So we've got
Okay.
all the metals that I really like. We've got gold and silver in particular, and also copper. We've demonstrated that before with the copper in hole one that we had a copper porphyry as well. So yeah, there's a lot of value creation going on here. We just got to keep going.
Well, and this is another chart I wanted to show, because I know some people were worried because silver did kind of go parabolic in the short term, and some people are saying it's just going to, because often parabolic curves just crash, right? But this is something where I try to show to people that I think we're still earlier on, even with this kind of pullback happening now. Is that, I mean, earlier on in the cycle, this is the CDNX venture. I know you said you weren't a chartist, but like I am a chartist, and you can see this has basically been in a trading range between about 1,000, 1,100 on the upside and about 5 or 600 on the downside, uh, going back to about 2013, 2014. And we did break out. We kind of went back into the range on this little correction. But what I'm trying to show is that this is just coming out of this 11, 12-year-old base. So I think this is really the start of a move of kind of what happened in the 2000s in the juniors, when the CDNX went from like 1,000. Remember, we're just going back to where we were in the early 2000s, and gold was like 300. I'm
Well, yeah, look at the chart. I mean, we're trading barely above where
going to get a
we
30-year.
traded in 2008 at the
Yeah,
bottom of the financial
crisis.
crisis,
Yeah.
which was pretty dismal. And then 2011, when silver hit $50, you see a nice looking jump there, but $50, we just hit 100.
Yeah, I know. I
So
know.
should we should be double where we were in 2011 on
Well,
silver.
if you
I mean,
just wanted to do, we can do this on
gold was
here.
1900, gold's 5000 now. So this chart has a lot of catching up to do.
So anyway, I'm just dividing it by the price of silver, and you can see,
Yeah.
yeah, we're basically still the cheapest we've ever been when you actually divide the junior stocks divided by the actual price of silver. And I'll do gold just quickly here, and that will look the same way. Yeah, you can see. That's like back at the top in 2007, the CDNX was trading 5 times the price of gold. Now it's trading 1/5 the price. So gold is now trading 5 times the price of the CDNX. So yeah, and like I said, with hopefully that M&A part of the cycle coming, that will lift the prices too, because then people will say like, oh, this guy just got taken over for whatever 3 or 4 or 500 million. So this company that's trading at 50 million should be worth 5 times as much. And that's how you kind of get the price action moving higher as well. You know,
Well, as a exploration company, our goal is to drill, add value for shareholders, and sell to a
yeah.
mid-tier or a major. And along the way, you hope to raise money at higher and higher prices as you prove up the value of
So you
your
so you don't have
project.
sorry.
Yeah, so it helps to reduce your dilution and
Yeah,
helps your
yeah.
overall takeover value to shareholders. Uh, and what's really nice is I was at the VREC a couple of years ago, a couple of weeks ago, the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference, and we talked to a lot of very happy Regency shareholders, but we also talked to a lot of shareholders that were happy with their other metal stocks because they're making money now. And that's a feature that you really haven't seen that much of for a
Well,
couple of years, right? Maybe a 10-year drought
the-
on that. So it's really nice to see. It makes your job um, a lot more rewarding when you can see that shareholders are actually making money. Because, these are the retail guys that you rely on to buy stock, to finance your company. And it's really nice to see them making money.
well, I know too, like my experience in the last 10, 15 years is that I had these little blips like 2016 or a period of 2018, 2020, 2021 after COVID was pretty good. And then now, like you just have these little blips. And I think one reason that say we're talking about the volume in Regency, people say sell into this price spike is that they're not used to a prolonged move higher in the juniors. They're used to maybe having a good 6 months or 12-month period, and then everything goes back down as dead again. And I really think with these higher gold prices, and I think I said this month is a key month to me because the producers, I think when you see the cash flows and what money they can make at 70, $80 silver, at $5,000 gold, then you're going to see these companies really start outperform. I'm sure you're going to see some gap ups on these earnings because the earnings are going to be like nothing you've ever seen because yeah, like even the fourth quarter, these guys were selling silver for what? 30, 40, And
Oh yeah, the jump has been profound here,
yeah,
and these are real earnings too. These aren't future predicted revenues from AI
yeah.
or a tech company. These are actual earnings. This is cash in the till. So yeah, and there's going to be pressure from shareholders. I saw it in the last cycle. There's going to be pressure from shareholders to go do something.
Well,
You can't just sit on the cash. You've either got to dividend it out to your shareholders or go buy something and grow.
well,
And
sorry.
gold and silver are growth industries. You don't get them for, you don't buy the stocks for the dividends. You buy them for the growth.
Well, what was interesting was that somebody who went to the Vancouver conference at the end of January told me that when the larger cap companies were, doing their presentations, they said they were going to do two things with the money was they were going to number one pay off all their debt, which is interesting because in 2011 they actually accumulated a lot of debt because rates were cheap, after the financial crisis when they cut rates to zero to do their takeovers, but they're going to pay off their debt and then they're going to do M&A That's the two major things that they're going to do. And like you said, no one's owning Barrick Gold or Newmont or the big boys or the mid tiers like Eldorado. No one owns those for the dividends. And maybe because they have enough cash flow, they can pay a couple percent. They own them for, like you said, expansion in profits and cash flows and for capital gains.
Oh, exactly. I did a study on dividends years ago, and you get an initial bump when you declare a dividend, and that's it. So yeah, these you have to have a dividend of some kind if you're a major because that gets you into more index funds and
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
it gets you into some institutional investors that need a dividend, but it's going to be a nominal dividend. Yeah, this is a growth industry.
And Bruce,
And
here's another.
we're trying to grow. We're trying to grow as fast as we can here. I mean, we're that drill is turning today. It turns 24/7, and we're drilling these holes as fast as we can.
And Bruce, here's another interesting thing. I got a Vino Silver. This has kind of been one of my big winners. I bought this right near the bottom, like $1, right? And but here's another thing interesting about these companies, which will help them too, like you said, expand, is that a lot of funds have a rule that they will not own stocks that trade under $5 a share. So stocks like Endeavor Silver and Vino, these, like I said, over a year ago were $1 or $2 stocks. Now they're like $10 or $15 stocks. So funds and institutional money, like large institutional money, I'm talking the multi-billion dollar money from New York and in London and places like that, will now invest in them. And of course, then there's a trickle down effect from that, you know?
Oh, sure. Look at that chart. I mean, guys are making money. The volume's picked up. They can trade in and out of the stock. Uh, it's on an upward trend. I mean, I have nothing but respect for what Avino has done, and I'm very happy for them because I know they've worked very hard over the years and they've maintained their share count. So, good for them. And this is something that's typical in the industry now. You see a lot of charts that are similar to this, maybe not quite as good as this, but very similar.
I'll just show you a chart
And it
here.
takes years of hard work to maintain yourself so you can get to this point.
So this is the silver junior ETF, SILJ, right?
Yeah.
And this is, I just want to I'm going to divide it by SLV, the silver ETF. And this is kind of what I want to show you that this is what I think's happening here. You can see that since about September, October, when silver went crazy to the top, that the stocks were really underperforming silver, right? They actually went to a multi-year low, like the silver juniors divided by silver. But now they've come up. So this is what I'm trying to say here, that now I think in the coming part of the cycle, you're going to see the silver equities and gold equities really outperform the metals themselves.
Well, we'll see. Uh, I I all I know is there's a big gap right now between valuate the price of silver and gold and the valuations of the juniors. We just haven't caught up to the price increase. So, some at some point that's going to come. I mean,
And
I
just,
don't know what the in situ value of an ounce of gold is right now,
well,
but I don't think it's anywhere close to catching up with the price of gold or silver.
And actually, in terms of liquidity, comes to your stock as trading as well. Say someone's just a trader, and someone wants to get in and out, sell when it goes up 10 cents and buy when a little dip, and you have liquidity now as well. Like I know myself, between me and my father, an account he has, including my warrants, I own about 1.4 million shares of Regency, right? And back in September, October, it would have been difficult to get in and out of that position, but now if you guys do have good results and the stock goes to 50 cents or $1, I know I can trade it very easily. I don't have to worry about, oh, it's going to take me 2 weeks to get out of this. And so also that liquidity breeds another sort of investor, which is like a trader, not just like the people buying the financing, etc.
Yeah, I guess traders have their place. There's one you made a good point just a little while back there where you said that some of the investors are a little gun shy still. They they
Yeah.
they see a profit and they take it. It's not just the investors, the brokers as well. They've had a few lean years, like probably from 2015 until the start of 2025 and even through the summer. Look at that down chart in the summer.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, so, it's not really until they see some longer term profit here.
yeah.
They see some investors that are making money and want to hang on to the stocks. That we're going to see a real rise in the price of some of these exploration companies.
Look, I would
Because
say
let's face it, the brokers, they need to eat too, and they need to make some money, and
you.
the, the investors like to make money, the traders like to make money. We're in the money business here, so we got to make money for everybody.
And in January, people have, their Christmas, New Year's bills they have to pay. So I'm sure. And
Everybody's
like I
got bills to pay.
and I know psychology of people. Let's say someone who bought the 10-cent financing sold at 20 or 25 cents because they had a quick double or 150% gain. Well, if you guys break above that recent high and you go to 50, 60 cents, a lot of those people will buy back in. They'll be like, "Oh my God, I missed this." And then
Yeah,
that
sure.
yeah, that happens too, as well. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, my job is to add value,
Yeah.
and the way to add value here is through drilling. And
And by the way,
fortunately, things have been working out on the drill front.
I like that about you because a lot of companies I know still aren't really drilling aggressively, even though this is the time to do it, with gold and silver really have moved higher in price. So you guys have raised the money and are really drilling aggressively. And sometimes things work out because it's the whole tree and the falling in the forest. No one hears it. Like when silver was 20 and gold was 1500, you could have drilled, your brains out and no one would have cared.
Yeah,
So,
don't remind me, please.
so I
No,
guess
things are a lot better now. There's no doubt about
yeah,
that.
we'll leave it on that. So I'm pretty happy. Like just so people know, for myself, my average price is probably 13 to 15 cents, and I have warrants at warrants at 20. So, and if I'm correct, so there's 20 million, and then the other 25. So you could probably raise what, another $6-7 million from the two warrants.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, and like you said, dilution. Like if you could get the stock up on some good results, you raise money at 60 cents. Well, you know, 10 million shares is all you need to get $5 million at, at 50 or 60 cents, right? 5 or 6 million
Yeah,
dollars. Yeah. So
that's the plan. Yeah.
yep. Okay, man, Bruce. So it's great. So when do you plan on being in Mexico again?
Thursday.
Thursday? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and actually, this will probably come out Tuesday, right before you go down. So,
Okay.
okay. Anyhow, take care,
All
man.
right. Well, great talking to you, David.
You should be.
Thanks for
I
having
think
me on.
you're a Seahawks fan, right? You should be happy. At least they won the
Oh
Super.
yeah, Seahawks. Where's my Seahawks hat? I got it around here somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wearing my beast mode jersey. Had my Seahawks hat. Yeah.
Well, I wanted them to win because unfortunately I'm a Raiders fan, but the Seattle offense coordinator is now the Raiders coach, right? So I kind of wanted them to win just because I wanted him to have a good game. So, but it was more their defense that won the game, though, to be blunt about it. Their
Great
defense.
team effort.
Yeah, they smothered the Patriots. So,
They did.
And
And
again,
the
being a
offense
Raiders
did their
fan, there's
job.
no team I hate more, maybe the Chiefs, than the Patriots. So I was happy to see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope I don't turn off any people from New England who want to invest in the company, but sorry. So okay, man, take care.
Okay, see ya.